Welcome back to yet another edition of the Early Apex. I'm Dylan, and we got
Rob.
And this is what? We're on episode number 6, is it now?
That's right. Hey. Moving right along.
Hey. All right, and on today's episode, our title topic is going to be synthetic gases.
So synthetic fuels have been coming up here and there for the last couple years. I feel like maybe 5 years ago we first heard about it from Porsche and some other outlets that, you know, they're developing synthetic fuels, but it was all very like science fiction-y, not practical yet. Recently, yeah, exactly. Recently, Porsche has been pushing this a lot more, and other companies are involved as well, all across like, you know, the oil industry. Of development of synthetic fuels, and they're testing them in cars. Porsche's using them in cars right now, and it seems really exciting, right? Because before, you know, the world's telling all us like, you know, internal combustion enthusiasts that we shouldn't be doing this. This is wrong, destroying the environment, etc. And it's like,
got a limited number, like a limited amount. There's only so many dinosaur bones in the ground.
Yeah, we're destroying the atmosphere, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Doomsday stuff. So, sorry, I just got distracted.
No, you're fine. Yeah, little background noise, never hurt anybody. So, yeah, first of all, I got to say this. Synthetic fuels, much more educated than my synthetic gas intro. I just... First off, I'll tip my cap to you on that one. I should have totally
I don't know anything, honestly. Wait till I explain it.
Yeah, no. So, and yeah, to kind of cue you for that, dive into like what does it mean to be like a synthetic fuel? Because like synthetic is such a loose term. I didn't even know what I was watching when I was researching this topic. Like, what does it mean to be like a synthetic fuel?
Yeah, so I think synthetic really just comes from the term like, obviously, the gas we have now, we drill oil, get oil out the ground, and then we refine it. And that was created, I don't know, naturally, right? It's just, you know, it's been whatever.
Taking fossil fuel.
We're just sucking it out of the earth.
Crude oil, turning it into gases. Yeah.
Right. And so the synthetic is using, like, other means to get to the same exact end. So, you know, basically the problem is locked in that oil CO2. But when we unlock it from the oil that's under the ground and put it in the atmosphere, that's our problem, right? It's the CO2 is the problem. It's destroying the greenhouse. So what the synthetic fuel is instead of taking it out of the ground and then releasing it in the atmosphere when we run our car, it's taking it basically out of the atmosphere, turning that into CO2 in the gas, running in your car. Your car is running exactly the same as before. The gas is molecularly the same.
Identical, yeah.
Identical. And so you're releasing CO2 in the atmosphere. But it's CO2 that was just taken out of the atmosphere to make the gas. And so that makes it carbon neutral. And I think that's where the synthetic comes from is they're making it through this process instead of just drilling it out of the ground.
Yeah, and then refining it, right? And like I think this is really interesting because it's very similar to what little I know about hydrogen, right? Like hydrogen to me was always an attractive option, not because of Hindenburg going down and blowing up. That was obviously like the drawback. I don't want that to be my car. But you have an abundance of these materials that you are like required to run a hydrogen engine, right? It's the same thing with this process of making synthetic fuel. Like they literally have technology to suck the CO2 out of the air, which is great, which is helpful because there's too much of it, right now. And then they take water and through, crazy science stuff that's, way beyond our...
and things.
Yeah. They're basically breaking those molecules down and then creating synthetic fuel, right?
Yeah.
So it's like it's crazy that it's water and air that they're putting together to make essentially the same exact thing, and nothing else has to change. With hydrogen, a lot would have to change.
Right, hydrogen. The whole problem is, fuel cells in the car. The fuel cells are super volatile.
Yeah.
Like, there's you have to create a whole new refueling Infrastructure, it's
Yep.
yeah, a logistical nightmare.
This is like, hey, there's too much CO2 out there. Let's almost like reuse it by like grabbing it from the air, creating fuel, and nothing else changes.
And I mean, and one of the best things, like the thing that we all want to hear, right? We can use our cars exactly the same way we've been using them.
Exactly the same.
The fuel goes into the same gas pumps. It can even be mixed with gas, like regular old organic gasoline, you know.
Yeah.
And everything's all, hunky dory, and we can keep driving our cars around. So you want to know how much it costs?
Tell me what this prototype synthetic fuel costs.
So it's going to cost you about $40 a gallon.
Okay.
$40 a gallon, and I'm pretty sure that's if you went to South America and just got it right from the factory in Chile.
Source.
Yeah. I don't think that includes import duties and fees.
So that is
gas.
Obviously staggering.
That's limiting.
Yeah,
you're going to think twice every time you fire your car up.
100%. But I will say this. I mean, that's the cost today, as almost like this borderline like experimental option for fuel.
Right. I mean,
imagine if you scale that up. Imagine if you scale that up and you have these kind of refineries or factories, whatever you want to call them, all across the country and across the world.
What do we burn like literally millions of gallons every day in the U.S. And I believe currently they're producing 34,000 gallons a day of this synthetic fuel. So yeah, that's nothing. There's no economy of scale yet.
No.
Absolutely no economy of scale. I mean, there's no market for it yet either.
Yeah, and honestly, like $40, like I thought it was going to be some number that I would not be able to even like remotely comprehend. I thought
you couldn't even buy it if you wanted to. You're just like, I'm tapped out. That's it.
It's actually $40 for like a milliliter. Like just like some like
just
like some
insane.
Nalgene size.
You're buying uranium.
Yeah, like $40
no, it's not insane.
That's actually not insane. Yeah,
it's easy to think. In 5 or 10 years when there's a market for it, okay, it's $10 a gallon. All right, I could spend $10 a gallon instead of someone telling me, no, you can't drive your car ever again. Okay, I'll spend $10 a gallon.
Like, what's race gas right now?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I don't know. It's 109 cost.
What does 109? I want to say it's like, I think it might be like 10 plus US average right now. So, like, you're 4 times more than race gas, but this was like made in a lab, right? And there's zero economies of scale.
They've got a refinery now, but there's no scale. Also, race gas, if you want to buy VP 109, MS 109, 5-gallon pail,
good stuff,
122. So that's $6 a gallon, right?
Yeah,
something like that.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's late. I put my calculator brain away
like
for now.
$25 a gallon. That's like $20 a gallon, $25 a gallon, something like that.
See, okay, I'm like grabbing for my calculator now. See, that actually is for me hopeful.
I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful too. Yeah,
you're double the price of race gas today.
So
as this experiment, basically.
Now I'm gonna like bust the bubble, right?
Okay.
So
bust my bubble.
So it's about being carbon neutral, right? We're looking at the holistic picture because we're still like your engine's still burning and putting CO2 in the atmosphere, but that's CO2 you just took out, so carbon neutral. But to make our synthetic gas, you need a lot of electricity. So first thing, you need your electricity to be made with sustainable, means. Solar, wind, whatever. You can't be coal plants. And the other thing is you got to transport it. And right now it's going to be transported with non-sustainable means.
That's easy because you just have a gas station right at the facility.
You can't argue with that logic.
This makes perfect sense. I see absolutely no problem. There's obviously going to be flaws there.
No, you're totally right.
But I see what you're saying too about the electricity.
Right? Yeah. I mean, hopefully we're going more sustainable across the board on electricity anyway. I mean, they're going to have to start making a a shit ton of it for all these electric cars we're going to have. I'm hopeful. Though.
Yeah.
It's exciting. I previously kind of always just thought it's like a fun experiment that Porsche is doing, but by the time they make anything of it, there won't be any gas cars left. You won't be allowed to drive them anymore. But it seems like we're much, much closer now.
I think we are much closer, and I knew about this independently of researching this topic. I still know very little about it overall, but I do understand that F1 has goals to, by 2026, I believe it is, to start having synthetic fuel used by all their cars, and be by 2030, I believe, to be carbon neutral. And this also is wrapped up in their rules, right? There's always these different generations of cars and rules and regulations.
And of course, they're racing hybrid now, right? They can only use so much gas in a race, right?
Yep. It's why they are V6 turbos right now, because they're trying to reduce their carbon footprint and all that sort of stuff. Yes, I know the sounds aren't as good as they used to be, but...
Imagine this, Dylan.
What, Rob? What?
Right? Now that they're racing Priuses out there right now, right?
Yeah.
But synthetic fuel... You can get whatever engine you want.
I didn't even think of that.
We're going V10s. We're going V12s.
Back to V10.
We're going back. Synthetic fuel.
We're going back to the future. Let's do it.
That would be the best thing that happened to F1 in a long time. That'd be a game changer. That'd be amazing.
Well, it also brings up why. So when regulations change and you have that reset button, it also creates opportunities for other companies to potentially join. Right, and right now you have manufacturers like McLaren, Ferrari's obviously always been there. You have Aston Martin now, and you have Audi that's coming in soon. And Porsche's been interested, and I believe it's because of this synthetic fuel situation. And they came close to striking a deal with Red Bull to help out with their engines. Didn't close the deal, and actually Ford snuck in, believe it or not, to work with Red Bull on this. But it wasn't fully for their engines. It was actually for the electric portion of the engine for their DRS system.
Okay.
So there's just a lot of like things on the cutting edge around, hybrid and synthetic fuels, and like the KERS system, the regen from braking. That was all developed by F1. I haven't been following F1 for that long, past couple years because of Drive Survive, just like every other American that's now into F1 probably got into it from. But now it's interesting kind of seeing that play out in real time for the first time, where, Porsche's developed this synthetic fuel. They're interested in, F1 because of it. And we're going to start seeing F1 use it, and it's just a matter of time until it starts trickling down.
Yeah. I mean, that'd be so exciting to see. And obviously, like that, it's a marketing move for them to get into F1. I mean, sure, they're going to do some testing or whatever, but it's marketing. And that means that they want to push it to the public. They want the public to know about it, and hopefully we'll be able to use it. Yeah.
Well, F1's also been underneath a lot of heat, surrounding protesters getting on their track, just all the wrong reasons about how excessive the sport is, right?
Yeah,
Go ahead.
No, I don't know. Are they protesting the obscene wealth, or are they protesting the use of fossil fuels?
You know what? They might not know it. They're protesting it all. It's really what they're doing. The excess, the gluttony.
You got to start with a large fortune to make a small fortune in racing. That's what they say.
100%. And then you also have other people drivers like Sebastian Vettel. I mean, he's now retired, but he was always pushing for sustainability and things like that. So they're underneath a lot of pressure to, go carbon neutral. And I think it would be great, because when you do think about everything that goes into F1, you have all these teams, you have all this equipment, it travels all around the world throughout the season, even just restructuring their seasons into tours of, hey, we're going to do the North American circuit part of the tour. And they stay in the US and they do the 3 US races within the month. And then you can also almost create sub stories. Oh yeah, Sites had a great, North American circuit. or North American Tour. Like he did really well in the Americas, or if they go in the South
Yeah,
America
yeah,
too,
like kind of like almost the mini
yeah,
Drivers
I wouldn't
Cup for it.
Exactly. Yeah, I wouldn't do the points any different. Like nothing that would change. But you're always looking for stories in sports. You could totally add to stories about, oh yeah, Max always like delivers in Europe. Whatever. Like
Right.
whatever like silliness. Max is just crushing life right now because the Red Bulls are so good and he's so good. So it's match made in heaven right now, but it would be another interesting way for them to reduce their carbon footprint. I feel like this is such a serious topic. This is all serious.
It's very
doing
serious.
Our research.
We're trying to save our asses from being extinct. We're just like clawing at anything we can to stick around.
Keep my 30-year-old Miata legal on the road.
Yeah, exactly. Politicians are trying to get rid of us.
For sure. So what do you guys think? Anyone who's listening, do you think this is going to make it mainstream? Like other F1 tech or other, cutting edge tech is going to be? I don't know. I hope it does. I think this is, I'm going to say it, this is a glass half full topic for Dylan Pudiak. I would love to see this work out. Maybe selfishly.
I'm glass half full on this one too. I would love to be filling my Miata up at the pump in 20 years with synthetic.
Yeah, as long as it's not $40 a gallon. Let's
it might be in 20 years. All gas might be in 20 years.
Yeah. But the way the inflation's been, electricity might be $4 a gallon because that's $40 a gallon because that's how it's going to work.
Or there's going to be rolling grid outages. There's going to be like a nice little apocalypse action, but
Or that. We're going to be in for a wild ride here, folks. We'll see what happens.
All right, let's get to something more fun here. Let's get to something a little bit more lighthearted.
Let's get to something more lively. All right, what do you guys think? Are we doomed? What's going to happen here? Hopefully things work out. I think this is a solution. I think so. This brings us to our second segment, FMK, where I have chosen 3 cars.
I'm stoked.
For Rob to decide on what to marry and kill. And I have historically made Rob choose between 3 maybe not so great automobiles. Although it's not there's not always bad cars, but I try to make this hard, but I have made it hard in all the wrong ways. Today, I'm making a stand. We're making it hard for all the right ways.
Ooh.
So we try to keep this in a segment.
It's all candy today.
It's all candy today, baby. We're going to be going home sugar high. And we always try to do this in segments, right? I did kit cars recently. You've done, 90s sports cars. Today it's homologation cars. This is one of my favorite
You always have the best segment. What the hell? Why did I think of that? God damn it.
It's some of my favorite
Jesus
cars.
Christ.
And I'm going to be specific with it. We're trying to stay within a couple of years of each other. We're not going to do the Subaru 22B because that's like a cheat code, right? Everyone's marrying that car. Or
That's
at least
true.
effing it. Like no one's killing that car. So like I couldn't put that one in. But
I don't know. I got some weird kinks when it comes to homologation cars. There's certain ones that really do it for me. I got some weird kinks
too myself, Rob. So whatever. You never know with me. So we didn't include that one, but they are all rally homologation cars, right? Because homologation is always about racing. There were a lot of rally homologation cars.
All right, wait.
These are from...
Explain homologation for us, Dylan.
Okay, yes, thank you. Yeah. So
homologation.
Homologation. Homologation is when a racing series requires the cars being raced to have at least a minimum run of real sold road vehicles. Right. So the cheat code for the manufacturers were design a race car and sell it to a lucky, 500 people or whatever
Make it
the minimum.
Legal, slap some lights on it, slap an interior in, call it a street car, and sell 100 of them.
It's what everybody wants in a car, which is a street.
Well, it's what we want in a car.
Yeah. Okay. True. It's what we want in a car. What I think people of class wanting to.
I think famously, quite a few Group B rally car teams the production cars just sat on lots because no one could buy. No one wanted them. No one wanted to buy the Metro 6R4.
So that's where homologation comes from, and they were big with rally. They were big with Group B. All those cars need to be homologated, and that's where we're going with this segment. So I'm sending you these right now.
Give it to me. I'm ready.
Sending you the links that for those at home listening or watching us on YouTube. I'm sending him links right now so he can see them, and I'll intro them individually in order of the links that I've sent. So the first car to consider in this segment is going to be the Audi Sport 1984. What was it? 40. Oh my God.
The Quattro?
Yeah, the Quattro.
Is that the word you're missing? The most important word, the most iconic. It's as recognizable as Audi itself.
Oh my God, yeah. Sorry, I rode 100 miles before this podcast.
A bicycle. He rode a bicycle 100 miles.
A bicycle,
just so you guys know.
I don't know. I'm speaking back to those kinks.
I don't know what the hell a car man's doing on a bicycle in Lycra. I don't know.
I'm just getting in the way, Rob. That's what's happening. I'm just getting in the way.
I actually almost ran you over earlier today.
All right, so we got the Quattro. Icon car. Then we also have another icon from back in the day. We have an old Peugeot. I think this only came in this one color.
Really? This graphite gray?
Yeah, this graphite gray with stripes red on the side. Again, I don't have my name of this car in front of me. What happened to my name?
I believe that's a 206.
I think you're right. It's 206. There's something else in the name too, I think.
It's a Group B car, right?
Yeah. Peugeot 206.
Don't worry, I'll find it.
It's an engine in the back. I'm totally off my game here. But I love the fact that this car, geometry-wise, is all weird because it is a mid-engine hatchback. Such a cool little car. And then you've got Ford with the Sierra Costworth RS500. Another classic icon, the whale tail. This is going to be in white. This, I think, was offered in several different colors. We're going to go with white on this one. Just a cool, funky car. One of the many cool Fords that we never got here in the States, and something that I've always lusted over.
Oh, yeah. The Cosworth. Okay. Yeah. Well, now I'm gonna rack even more. I need to know what engine each one of these had and what kind of power they were putting down.
So I believe okay. Give me 1 second. No, you're fine. I had a good segment, but I did not have all of the notes saved like I thought I had. So I believe all of them are turbocharged, 100%. They're all turbocharged. They all are all-wheel drive. Ooh, are they though?
See, I swore the Cosworth was that particular Cosworth is a NA car. I thought it was like a 2-liter screaming 2-liter or something.
I think you might be right. Shoot. Hold on.
Loading.
Okay, well, what's your first take?
My first take.
I'll bring up this stuff.
I'm gonna talk about. All right, so the Quattro, obviously, I think is the most well known of these. Super iconic, but it's never really done anything for me in the looks department. I think proportionally, it's a little funky. With the fastback hatch, but there's a bit too much room back there. I don't know. I never love this car. 5-cylinder, obviously awesome. Sounds amazing. I wouldn't be surprised if this was the fastest of this group, at least in the homologation form, the street version.
So this car had 476 brake horsepower.
Homologation, the one I'm getting.
Yeah, that's what the Google is saying.
The Google, okay.
Oh, nope, here we go. Scratch that. I'm all over the place. 302 horsepower. 250 foot-pounds of torque. And, of course, The Quattro, all-wheel drive, obviously. That was a given.
Wait, all right, sorry. How much power?
302.
302.
Brake
Okay.
horsepower.
Okay.
Your classic 300 horsepower.
All right. And then we've got the Peugeot 206 T16. This car I absolutely love. Like, I love the styling. Just the right mid-engine, right? All-wheel drive. The huge scoops on the rear, like, arches that just come out, like, way further than, like, God intended. Like, I absolutely love these, like, mid-engine hatchback, like, just monsters. They really speak to me. And then the Kazi.
Yeah, and then you have the Kazi. And the Cosworth, I've got specs on that.
All right.
Little lower power. 224 horsepower, 200 foot-pounds of torque, 204 foot-pounds of torque. And it is rear-wheel drive.
Right. And what's the configuration, the engine?
It's front-rear.
Okay.
Front engine, rear-wheel drive.
And it's turbo. 4-cylinder turbo.
It's turbo.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm confirming the Peugeot. I'm struggling to find that a little bit, some of those specs, but I'll have that up in a moment.
Yes, sir.
But the Peugeot is you're really fond of the Peugeot.
I love the Peugeot. All right, I'm forming my opinions here. See, the thing, my two cars, my homologation. Well, I have a few homologation cars, but like the Metro 6R4, absolutely adore that car. I adore that it came out of like a pile of shit that was the Metro. Like they are just terrible, terrible cars. There's probably none even left on the road in England. They were so bad, just tin cans. I'm
seeing around 200 horsepower for the Peugeot.
Okay.
Yeah, street version.
And then of course the Lancia Delta Integrale. An absolute classic. Those are beautiful. They're like a European Evo. All right. I am sure this is a terrible car to live with and will be totally unreliable and will just screw me all the time. I want the Peugeot every day and night. I want that. Yeah, I want that passion every day. Whether for good or bad. Screaming matches.
It was the car. Get this man the car. No, that's really cool. No, I mean, talk about a head turner here in the States. Nobody has ever seen that car here.
Yeah, and no one's going to turn their head because everyone in the United States can be like, "That's a piece of crap hatchback." But this guy must be broke.
Oh my god, you're not wrong.
But I know, I love it. I love it.
That would be like such a cars and coffee killer.
Yeah, exactly. That's one of those cars. I think we were talking about this last time, where it's like, it is so cool, but no one will think you're an asshole.
Yes.
It's one of those cars you can roll up and you're the coolest guy there, but no one's mad at you. No one has like a chip on their shoulder that you're rich, even though you were rich because you probably just spent like $200K to get this thing. But beautiful.
That's awesome.
And then I think I'm gonna take the F on the Quattro.
Oh,
it's like just such a legendary car, and I'd love to just have that experience of being able to say I've driven one, and I do want to know what it's like.
Yeah, the Genesis of all-wheel drive,
and it's Escort, right? It's a Cosworth Escort or Escort Cosworth, the Ford.
I don't think it's Sierra.
Oh, it's Sierra, right.
Yeah,
Sierra.
Anyway, it doesn't have Escort in it. Escort was a rally car from Ford for a while. But this one is a Sierra.
Okay, yeah. It's just ugly as hell. It's ugly as hell.
There are better Ford rally cars.
It's just not in a way that has become like endearing or aged well. I think it's like it's. I get why some would love it, but it's ugly as hell. And the mid wing on like this, the coupe or sedan hatch, like how it's the mid wing. Like
the Escort Cosworth is the more attractive car.
Oh yeah, for sure. And this one, it really doesn't do anything for me in the looks department. It is funky, it's cool, but No, I've made my call.
Okay.
I've made my call, but
Okay.
I'm actually left wanting because, you know, what about like can I get like a Stratos, you know, or
the thought that there's, you know, we might have to do a homologation again because there are so many sick cars.
I'm in love with all rally homologation
I'll leave it
cars.
to you. What I tried to do, Rob, aside from totally misplace all of my spec notes between choosing these cars and this segment and doing this segment, I was trying to get a cluster in time. Because I'm like, Stratos and like all these other cars. Yeah, like great stuff. I tried to really like grab a moment in time. Late 80s.
Okay, right. So they're
all
all
these
from the
cars
same
were being
era.
offered.
Because a Stratos would have been like early 80s, I think.
Yeah,
or late
in
70s.
Europe, you could have bought any of these cars
at the same
from
time
a dealer.
Which is
yeah.
insane. I mean, that's
Yeah.
wild.
Yeah.
That's
so really
wild.
trying to get like a little slice of a moment in time
Man,
that you could pick these up.
DeLorean right now. Go back in time, pick one of these bad boys up for like what, 10 grand?
Yeah. It's just nuts. So for me, even again, I have put together a segment that I don't have the immediate answer to. I'm hearing what you're saying about the cause, but I have such a soft spot for Ford rally products that we never got. I have such a soft spot for Cosworth, the history of Cosworth, what they did in F1. To own a car that says Cosworth on it, for me, I think that's my love you till the day I die car. I think I'm going to love that car.
The Cosworth.
Yeah.
Dylan, I have
Sierra
great news for you. I have great news. In 2019, 86 Sierra RS Cosworth sold for this low price of $21,500.
Really?
Yeah.
That
is it's pre-COVID.
It's a reasonable price for a lifelong happiness right there.
Yeah. Exactly. And I mean, you know, you're going to have to import it from Spain.
I'll be driving on the wrong side of the road.
Yeah. Oh, it's left-hand drive.
It is.
Because it was sold in Spain and not like England or something.
Spain's doing it right.
See,
guys doing it right over there.
I mean, well, now you got to put your money where your mouth is.
Okay, so we've got that. Yeah, I just think that would be such a
So
cool
you're taking
car.
that. You're taking that's your marry.
To marry, yeah. And again, I think that's going to be such an epic cars and coffee car, such a cool car all the way around.
Yeah, definitely an epic cars and coffee car.
And I have to kill one of these cars. That is like terrible. That's all. That's more terrible than like the one. Just take it to the limit till you die. I think I'm very 50-50 here, but I think purely for it being the genesis of all-wheel drive, it's a more powerful car. For those of you that aren't aware, the proportions do look a little awkward. It has a super short wheelbase, the Quattro.
And that's what I think throws me off. I feel like the overhangs are long.
It looks a little awkward, but I couldn't imagine what that car would be like on, a back road. Or, heaven forbid, a loose surface.
Wait, I need you to see this. I did the research that you were lacking. Pull up that bat auction, take a look at the photo, and let me know when you see it, and I will describe this to the audience.
Okay, I'm pulling it up right now. I start describing.
Okay, so the 206, right? We've got a tiny hatchback, like Mark 1 GTI tiny. It's mid-engine. The whole rear, like half of the car, half of the body lifts up and off of it.
Yep.
A whole clamshell just lifts up and out of the back. For full access. How sick. That is an insane flex. That is incredible.
That is an insane flex. How do I chose a terribly awesome segment because I want all these cars.
Oh my god, that really does something for me.
I'm going to stick with my choices, but this was terrible. I don't want to make it this hard ever again. I'm killing the car.
Oh, my.
Le car.
Jeez.
Yeah, I'm killing the Peugeot. Well, did I get it right or did I get it wrong? Let us know in the comments if you're on YouTube down below. Or, yeah, leave us comments on our podcast outlets. What would you pick? Would you marry le car? The Peugeot.
Tell me how much you love the Peugeot, guys. Come on. Come on. New car prices are obviously insane right now. I don't think anyone out there is not going to complain. We're preaching to the choir.
Oh, yeah.
It sucks. It sucks trying to buy a new car right now. Dealer markups are killing everyone, even on the blandest Honda Civic, Toyota Camry out there. Dealer markups and just inflation in general skyrocketing, right? So new average price for cars last year, what do you think it was, Dylan? Average price for cars for new car sale.
Average price for new car sale. Okay, what cheap sports car MSRP do I think was the average?
Which is absolutely no bearing on this. But
no bearing.
No bearing.
What does a Golf R go for?
Ooh, I think a Golf R is like $50,000 with a couple options. I think the base. I think they started like 40 something, maybe 42, 44.
I feel like I do feel like an average car. Well, Golf Rs are usually a little higher end. Maybe like a GTI. I would say somewhere around like 35 to 38 is what I'd want new cars to be at.
Yeah.
That's why I'm living in a shoebox.
You're living in a fantasy, Dylan. You're living in a fantasy.
I'm living in a fantasy. Right. Hit me with the truth.
$48,000.
What?
48,000. That's
so
the average
like a Golf
price
R.
of a new car. Yeah, it's like a Golf R. It's like an option Golf R. 48 G's. It kind of sucks. That kind of sucks. All right, I ran some numbers on this, Dylan. I ran some numbers on this. So, all right, think about this.
Yeah, right? Hit me with the numbers, Rob.
People say you should spend 10 to 15% of your household income on transportation. So if you're a 4-person family, 2 parents, 2 kids, you want to have 2 cars. This is the American dream. You want to have 2 new cars.
White picket fence, got it.
Right,
check.
for the average price of a new car. So you're buying a $48,000 car, ran some numbers, blah, blah, blah. You're looking at just over $700 monthly on your payment, not including your insurance. So that puts you roughly at 10%. All right, so $700 a month per car. So you got 2 cars. You're $1,500 a month. Yep. Now, let's say that $1,500 is 10% of your income. You have a little extra on top, pay for insurance and all that, maintenance.
Yep.
You need to be making $180,000 a year after taxes as a household, and before taxes, let's say you get 70%, $234,000. You need to be making $234K as a household to responsibly buy 2 new average cars.
My side hustle needs a side hustle.
Yeah, agreed. We're showing our income bracket, Dylan.
Yeah, my income bracket's showing. Oh boy. Oh my god.
But that and all right, we can complain all we want, and we're an expensive hobby here. But no matter how you put it, if you're making that much money, you're in the top 10% of earners in the United States. Yeah. So to buy 2 average cars, new American dream, you need to be in the top 10% of American earners. These aren't even
sports cars. These are average cars.
Right. This is this
all right,
is
nothing special.
Whatever. Dad wants, I don't know, an Explorer, a loaded Explorer, and mom wants, I don't know, what does mom want? Like a Volvo C70? Or
if she's a cool mom,
all right,
if she's a cool mom, she doesn't want a crossover.
Those
but
2
most
cars
moms,
I just named probably cost more than $48K each.
Oh God, yeah. Well, you're a man of taste.
And I need to be making even more. I mean, what does this mean for the car industry? That it is hard to own, just like it's hard to buy a house when you're in your 20s. It's hard to buy a new car. It's hard for a family to have 2 new cars.
It makes me concerned for car enthusiasts in general because we need to manufacturers need to continue to make fun cars in order for them to exist, and there needs to be a market for that. So like, it's concerning because of dealer markup, you're seeing the worst cars being marked up, the enthusiast cars, right? So you're fighting that uphill battle also. So now you're seeing companies with poor sales numbers, so they're less motivated to even do them. So they become rare. So it's almost like this, negative feedback loop where it's like, well, car sales aren't great, or these sports car sales aren't great.
Okay, so you're saying like
dealer
new
marks
car
them up.
sales are down because cars are too expensive to buy.
Yeah, and I'm specifically talking too about like enthusiast cars. Like
Okay.
it's just become like a negative feedback loop. As I'm Ford, I'm in a really expensive suit here trying to make executive decisions. Well, the numbers keep going down for these cars that are fun to drive. Why do we keep making them? And
Right,
I
you're
think,
just going to go straight for the cash cow. I mean, well, look at
Exactly.
Ford, right? They only make trucks.
yeah.
Well, thank God. I mean, all right, thank God they still make the Mustang.
That
but
person in the suit in the conference room already
Yeah.
won the argument.
no more Fiesta STs, Focus STs. Yeah,
Nothing. Just the Stang.
Yeah. It's concerning across the board because if there's no market because they've outgrown themselves, then no one's buying it, and the market, the industry's going down. I feel like the industry has been, it's a chicken and the egg, but one way or another, cars have been getting more complex, more expensive, and relative to income, right? Relative
Yes.
to average income. And
There is, yeah.
where are we going? Where are we going
Yeah.
when the average person now can't afford to buy the average car? And what does that mean for the industry?
Yeah. These things have separated. Like, income scaled up and car prices scaled up. The graph is splitting between the two of them, right? You just have car prices like outscaling the average salaries, and it's just, what can you buy? So Rob, what do we do here?
We're
What
just a
do we
couple
do
of
in this situation?
millennials complaining, Dylan.
Yeah, you know what? It's the fact that there's not a participation trophy for us just to collect on Go. It's obviously our upbringing. Too many, just auto wins of youth soccer when we were 5 years old. We were just not raised right, Rob. That was the problem.
No, it was
We
it was
needed
just
to rub
too
some,
easy for us.
We just need to go rub some dirt in it, and we'll be fine. Stop complaining. It was uphill both ways when I was a kid.
What does it mean?
No.
Well, all right. So there's another piece to this, which is this year actually is the first year, or is it the first quarter, something like that. But median car prices actually decreased. It's decreased by 1% from the last period. And I mean, well, it's, obviously we went through this massive, like, kind of inflation bubble of car prices with, all the markups and everything. And so we're kind of right pricing now, the market's correcting. Yeah. So it's nice for us to see this decrease, as consumers. But
I think
1% of 48 G's isn't enough to make the car affordable.
No, it's not. I think what it means in the short term for enthusiasts is, and it already exists, but I think to be an enthusiast, you're really going to have to look at used cars. Even if they're like new used, right? You want the new GR86. You want the brand new one. Well, I'm not going to buy the brand new one. I'm going to try to find at least who took the first hit of the depreciation? Who had the balls to take that hit? I'll buy from you, right? I'm going to buy a year or two old, like starting out with. I'm not buying anything new. New's off the table. And I think that's just going to snowball into more and more used cars. But then it's also kind of tough because 90s, sports cars have shot up in price too. So it's like, well, where do you go?
I'm full pessimistic mode on this one.
It's over. It's over.
Full pessimistic mode. Because we saw all used car prices go up, and even what you're
right.
talking about, like, all right, you want to buy a 2014 FRS, right?
Yeah.
Not a desirable car. Like, it's not collectible yet. I'm sure it will
I don't
be.
want to buy that. I don't want to buy that.
You're gonna have to, because that's the only thing you can afford, Dylan. But even those went up, went up over COVID.
And those have no business going up. Absolutely
even
no
those
business.
went up. Like, everything went up.
Especially now.
We're
Especially
screwed.
now.
We're screwed,
Oh my God.
Dylan. There's no more
Rob.
$2,000 running Miatas. They don't exist. They don't exist.
My gosh. We missed out. We missed out a bit. We were like 10 years like too late to the party, I feel like.
I need like 40-year-old money now. 50-year-old money maybe.
Yeah,
I needed it 10 years ago.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. We needed just 10 years ago, today's market 10 years ago or whatever. Reverse
Something
that.
like that. Something like that. Well, obviously it's working out for some people, because the market's only a representation of what people can pay, and apparently there's a lot of people out there who can pay a lot of money.
I mean, a lot of good credit scores going up, hopefully.
Apparently,
hopefully for those people.
Seems like there's a lot of 30-somethings buying $100,000, air-cooled Porsches. So
listen, where do you work, sir and madam? Who is employing you, and are they hiring?
We're going to Wall Street, Dylan. We're going to go sell our souls on Wall Street.
It is interesting. I'm also like, we're very fortunate, right? You've got a sweet, K-Swap Miata. You've also got a great daily. I have a fun Miata. I have a daily that I've paid off, and I'm very happy about it. It's a lukewarm hatch at best, but it doesn't cost me a penny these days. I feel for some of my friends who don't have two cars, fortunate like we are, who just have go from new car to new car, and they want an enthusiast vehicle. Because it's like you're getting less and less options. But you know what, Rob? Actually, half glass full. You got the Kona N, man. You got the Kona N.
Yeah, that's all you need.
It's good. That's all you need.
You guys need.
That's what? I was at Cars and Coffee this past weekend. I saw two. I'm like, that's the car that Sierra wants. Lightning Lap destroyed the WRX by 6 seconds at VIR.
Your girl's gonna be whipping a Kona N.
She's gonna be way faster than my Miata.
How are you gonna feel when she just smokes you?
No, it's you know what? Hey, in all seriousness, I mean, we would obviously share the car, and it wouldn't be. It has to be after the wedding and stuff like that. It would be pretty cool.
We're getting
to
deep
have
into
that
Dylan's personal life on this one.
as crossovers. I'd be part of the N family just like you, and I kind of wrote off buying a car like that, thinking that the next car that we would be at least hybrid. It would be cool to have one last gas.
Oh, come on.
Car.
Come on,
What?
Dylan. Just keep it going. We're the last left. Just go buy a manual car.
I'm not saying that I wouldn't do that. I'm talking about a
Can she
daily...
drive? Can she drive manual?
She can't.
She can't.
She
Okay.
can't.
Okay.
She doesn't want to. I've had her on the fence before about trying, but
You should should go buy her the Kona N as a present, right? With your
Listen.
co-married money, and then get the manual. I'm not sure if it comes with manual.
they don't have them. This is why I could buy it, because they don't have a manual.
All right.
It's only that. I've actually thought about
I
the
was
Golf
gonna
R,
say
but
buy her a present that's a manual and be like, here, honey, it's a present. Then she has to
for
learn,
myself.
right?
Yeah. No, I that ship has sailed, I think, and I'm okay with it. Because I still got my Miata, stick. I'm always gonna have a stick vehicle. And I was like, yeah, I've kind of toyed with the idea of a Golf R. That'd be cool and whatnot, but it's just too much money. It's just too much money. But I think a Kona N we could potentially swing. Maybe it has to be used. Not buying that car new. I'm not buying any new cars.
Come on.
I can't afford it. We're back in the loop. We're back in the loop, man. I'm gonna walk into that Hyundai dealership and they're gonna be like, "Yo, the Kona N. A lot of people want this car."
Service was terrible.
Here we
Hyundai
go.
dealerships suck.
We're gonna do a dealer markup of $15,000. Can't keep these on the lot. Are you sure about that? I see the sticker here. It says this was delivered last year. I'm telling you, Dylan, we can't keep them on the lot. Red's a great color. Half the reason why people don't buy cars right there. That experience.
That's the truth. That's the truth.
All right. Were we off on this one? I don't think so. Maybe so. Maybe we just need to get new jobs.
Just like college and houses. So bitter.
We so bitter. Us and our silly side hustles. We just got to get side hustles for our side hustles. What can I say?
Yeah, what can I say? Then we can buy some Camrys. Camry TRDs.
Oh yeah, definitely the body kitted TRDs.
The TRD.
We'll be TRD twinning all day long.
I don't know. Do you guys have 2 TRDs in your driveway? You know? Are you guys a family unit?
Lust after the TRDs like Rob and I do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't even finish that sentence. And that's a wrap. That is a wrap of episode 6.
That's all she wrote, folks.
That's all she wrote. That is all she wrote. Interesting episode. Got into the weeds on some things here.
We were hopeful, and then we were bitter and sad.
Bitter and sad. Bitter,
and a little fun in the middle. I'm gonna go to bed thinking about synthetic gas. That'll make me happy.
All right.
Yeah.
I will go to bed not thinking about synthetic gas, and that will make me happy. I'll be dreaming about Kona N. That's what I'll be doing. I'll be dreaming about Kona N's, and Sierra will be happy. That's key to my happiness. If Sierra's happy, I'm happy.
That's right. Happy wife, happy life, Dylan.
I'm learning that early. Right. I'm ahead of the game. October 14th. That'll be my mantra full time. So
all
yeah,
right, guys. Till next time.
Until next time. Stay. What was that? What was that?
No, I got nothing.
You got nothing.
I got nothing. Just
I'm going to thank people
give us
for
the
listening.
option. Yeah, no, you should thank
point.
them.
I mean, for putting up with us for this whole episode.
I'm selfish.
Me being missing all my notes and everything like that. No, appreciate the listen. Follow us on the interwebs. We're releasing them all across all the different podcast platforms. If you want to see us fumble through this episode or episodes in the future, we're going to be on YouTube. Check that out there with some little edits throughout the way. You get a little extra zhizh.
You get a little
from,
pizzazz.
Little pizzazz.
You get to see a couple photos here and there.
On YouTube.
Thumbnails.
So. Yeah. So yeah, thanks for watching and thanks for listening and stay tuned.
Till next time, guys.
See you.